And we are back to Open Your Eyes. And if you're joining us now, we are having a conversation with the PUC about their Raspberry Pi Jam competition. And joining us for this conversation is Olga Urbina Gough, who is the Public Relations and Consumer Affairs Manager from the Public Utilities Commission. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a really exciting initiative that the PUC is doing. So why don't you tell us all about the competition?
Okay, well, this is the third year running. We had a gap year last year, and so we were here the year before.
Yeah.
The winners actually came on Open Your Eyes as well, and with their, with everything that they had done. And so it's a part of the Public Utilities Commission committed, because we're very committed to the Young Innovators Program. Because we know that young people have all this imagination and have all of this, talent. And so what the PUC does is that it invests in these students and these young people. So far, we're working with high school students.
Yeah.
And so we've had 18 high schools compete. This year, we have a total of 12. 12 high schools competing, and 2 high schools are just showcasing what they had. I want to talk a little bit about what happened the year before. I like to say last year, but
The last competition.
The last competition.
Yeah.
We had 2 very, very, very good entries. We had the winner, who was Ecumenical High School from Dangriga.
That was amazing.
They came all the way from Dangriga, and they had an alarm system. Back in the day, they had a flood, and they had some people that perished. Okay, well, they had an alarm system, and they used the Raspberry Pi Jam to put sensors. And as the water rose, the alarm blared, so that people, even in the dead of night, could awake and leave leave knowing that the water is rising. Then the second one, which I think was excellent as well, came from Corozal Community College.
Yeah.
It was a vest that vibrated. It was for the visually impaired. So it's for them to wear it, and when somebody comes near, the vest vibrated, and at night the vest illuminated, like it had a light as well. So they were very good, very practical projects that came on board.
And super creative.
Yeah. No, I do recall that presentation from the students of Ecumenical, and it really does show the level of innovation that they're capable of coming up with. And also just using technology for real practical solutions, for life-saving measures in that case. The Raspberry Pi itself, we always make the joke when you come on. I'm sure it's pretty much cliche to people now, but it's not food.
No, it's not food. No, it's a very small credit size.
Yeah, it's like a credit card.
Yeah, credit card size computer.
Yeah.
And what it is very low cost.
Yeah.
And what you can do is that you can attach it either to your monitor and your keyboard, or you can use Python to program it. And that's what the children are using, the young people are using right now. Yeah, they're using Python to program it to do their projects.
Yeah.
This growing.
So that's what the competition is. You give them that.
We give them this. We give them each high school got 5 Raspberry Pi kits, which is this.
Yeah.
And with the kits we gave them a bunch of stuff like
those are like accessories.
And these are like the sensors and different things that we have here. And what we did is that we gave it to them, and we said, okay, now we want you to learn how to use it. And that's how we trained the teachers, because we had a training of trainers.
Yeah.
Mr. Dalwin Lewis out of UB trained them.
Yeah.
And so then they in turn train the children, all the high school students.
Yeah.
And then they go ahead and create something and come into the competition.
So all you give them is kind of the brain, and then they program the brain to do whatever it is they come up with.
Yes, and we tell them, it has to be something practical. It has to be something that can solve a problem, a social problem or whatever. And they do come up with these amazing projects. I mean, I don't know what they have on for tomorrow, because the jam is tomorrow, November 22nd, at the Belize Biltmore Plaza. We have the opening ceremonies at 9, and the actual jam starts at 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I'm excited to see what the kids are going to bring. Every year, I'm more and more amazed, and they keep upping their game. I think every year they keep up. They say, oh well, we're gonna up our game this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think, sets one apart to make them the winner of the top prize or whatever? What are you looking for?
We have a couple of things that we look for. Originality, innovation, technical difficulty, oral presentation, because they have to present it to the judges. They have a question and answer session that sometimes the students, primary school students, ask them, and they have to be able to answer all those questions while the judges are watching. And of course, the way they present the project, So those are the overall arching, It's always difficult. I never envy the judges.
Yeah.
Last year, you could see that they were, well, the year before, sorry, that they were walking up and down, and like you could see the difficulty of, and the winner was like by
here.
yeah, so it was because they were really, really good projects. So,
who are the judges?
This year, we have people that come from the ICT technical people and stuff like that. So they're people like that.
Because they'll know how complicated it is to put it together.
Put it together, yeah.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I could only judge on how it looks and
their presentation.
And the presentation, but I couldn't judge on the technicality of it and what it took for them, what programs it took for them to get it together.
And they do it in teams, right?
Right. They do it in teams, so they do it by high schools. So the high school, they usually have, I guess you have certain students that are more interested in IT than others. I think they have a team. I think CCC actually has a Raspberry Pi Jam club that they have, because they were reigning champs for 2 years straight. Yeah. And they, they
had like an irrigation system, I think, the last time they won.
Yeah. And so they come up with all these innovative stuff. The last time, the students from Ocean Academy, they developed a voting system, an automated voting system.
Yeah.
No
more
X on the ballots, and
it was cool enough that high school kids could come up with it, but we still can't do it.
yeah. So it's always it's good, and I think that's why the Public Utilities Commission invests in young people, because we know that they're the ones who are going to come up with this innovation.
Now the kits are administered to all high schools too, and they keep it.
They keep it, It was a big investment on the part of the Public Utilities Commission, because we gave 5 kits plus accessories to all the high schools that attended the training of trainers. Yeah, we did 2. We did one here in Belize City, and we did one in Belmont Pan for the districts more up. And I feel that not all the high schools take advantage of it. So in Belize City, like, we don't have a lot of the major high schools who compete.
Oh wow!
And I don't know why, but but we have like Belize High School and other high schools that do compete. But a lot of the big high schools don't compete, even though they were a part of the training and they were a part of getting the kits.
Yeah. But it does, I think that we have seen, especially from some of the schools in the districts, just some of the greatest ideas coming out. So it's great that we see participation nonetheless.
Yeah, like Carazal has been a major, they've been major winners, and then Dangriga came and they did amazing work. We had a high school from, I think, Toledo Community College came as well, and they brought a really good project. So that's what, we host the children here. They stay at the hotel, the ones who come from very far away, and then, because they have to set up in the morning. They have to be ready and set by the time we start our opening ceremonies at 9.
Wow.
So they come and you see the hustle and the bustle, and it's always very exciting.
Yeah.
And they're very proud. They're very proud of the work that they've done, and they're very proud, and they want to showcase what they've done.
Yeah.
And is the atmosphere pretty competitive?
No, I think they know what they bring to the table, and so you'd see them like walking around looking at each other, but you see that they, yes, they want to win, but you see the camaraderie as well, as knowing that, wow, they did that and we did that, and it's just beautiful to see. It's just amazing to see. It's a joyful thing to go and see these things. I'm always blown aback, because I always say I'm not a techie. I'm not a techie, and so I'm always blown aback. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I think it was Toledo Community College that had a robotic hand. They were trying to do like a robotic hand to, so that people could use, and so they had to tweak it a little bit more.
Yeah. Wow. And the prizes are also very good.
The prizes are really good. This year, first prize is $5,000.
For the school.
But it's out of whatever it is they want. It could be a robotic kit, it could be a board, it could be a 3D printer, whatever it is, but it has to be stuff like that. So first prize is $5,000.
Oh, they don't get the cash; they get the value.
The
in
value,
something
yeah.
else.
But they choose what is that they want. You know? And so we have second prize is $3,000, and then third prize is $2,000. So yeah. And also they get a lot of bragging rights because we make sure that we showcase them and that we bring them on the shows, and they're always excited to come on the morning shows and to showcase what they did.
Yeah. So you said 12 schools are competing and 2 are showcasing. Why showcasing?
Because I think they weren't ready. So they're showcasing something that they were working on, but maybe they didn't get it to its full fruition. So they don't want to put it in to compete. Because I can tell you, they bring it. They always bring it. The kids, they bring it.
Yeah.
And every year I've seen it get better and better.
So, and well, I know you said that you don't know what to expect this year, but what's it like when you see the children, or let's say they call them the high schoolers, you know, participating and bringing these new innovations? Like, was that part of the mission for the PUC to encourage innovation and creativity in young people, especially in regard to technology?
Yes, and that's exactly what we get. We started off with a mobile app. That was the first Young Innovators program that we did, and then we branched into the Raspberry Pi Jam. And so yeah, it's definitely, for me, I'm always amazed. Like, I can never tell you a year I've been there and I've been like, yeah, I've always been taken aback by what they do.
Yeah. Now, the key part here is that you're trying to get young people engaged in coming up with new technology as a part of the Public Utilities Commission. This is, I guess, your first phase. You said before that you're working with high schoolers for now. What's the long-term plan?
We want to work with primary school children as well. I know that they've started with Legos, and so we would see how we can then, you know, go into that. But for right now, we're just focused on the high schoolers. But we definitely want to bring them, and they do have the interest, because what happens is that the standards 4, 5, and 6 students of like different primary schools, they bring them. And you see the interest. You can tell which child is just, you know, there for walking around, and you know which child is engaged. And so this is what we want to do. So when they come into high school, then they want to work with this as well.
Awesome. And have you guys also ever like followed up with some of the past winners or some of the other people to see like whether or not the schools or the young people have like been putting more of the technology into use?
Well, we have always hoped that we had people like maybe say Nemo come in and work and say, you know what, Ecumenical, let's work together, let's do this. I had wanted maybe BCVI to come and, you know, check this vest out and say maybe, you know, maybe we can reproduce it, maybe, you know, something that we've not seen it. We've not seen it from the business community. We've seen one set of kids, they're called LXJ. I always get their name wrong, but what they've done is that they were in the mobile app program. And what they've done is that they've patented and marketed their app, and it has to do with weather, like to track weather and stuff like that. And they are from Curzal Community College. They've of course graduated out, but they were the ones that's one of the success stories that came out of that.
But you do invite, I think, some of the government representatives and the different agencies who might benefit from seeing these ideas.
Yeah. And I keep saying it, and I've been on different morning shows, and I've been saying it that, you know, we want you to come and see it. You know, it's not just for students. It's for everybody to come and see what these students are doing. And I mean, we can use it. They're practical stuff that they're doing. Yes, they're doing things like smart homes and stuff like that. That, you know, they build their little homes and they, you know, the car garage and everything, you know. But these two that I think were very close winners last year, I think these two are they're very useful and very practical and can be used here in our country.
So the event is open to the public?
Yes, the event is open to the public. It's tomorrow, November 22nd at Belize Biltmore Plaza. Like I said, the opening ceremony is from 9 to 10, and the actual jam is from 10 to 3. Please remember that it's 10 to 3. We had a lot of people show up 3:30, and the kids are already packing up and ready to go. And the reason it ends so early is because a lot of the students have to travel back to where they come from, you know, Corozal, Orange Walk, Dangriga, Toledo. So they have to travel. So that's the reason that we end at 3.
So when do you announce the winner?
That same day. Same day. So as the day progresses, the judges are walking around.
Yeah.
And they're seeing. Then they go booth to booth. Mm-hmm. And then after that, by the end of the day, we know who our winners are.
Okay.
So yeah.
So tomorrow in Belize City, 12 high school groups. How big are the groups?
It depends. Some students bring 5. Corozal Junior College, I think, brought 12 the last time. So it depends on how many. It depends. It can range from 5 to 12. I mean, and, you know, and in between.
Yeah.
But we never get less than 5 because what they also do is that they rotate. You know, some people might be explaining this and then they get tired and then they go see the booths and then, you know, so that's what happens. And they come along with their teachers and their principals as well.
All right. So the last winner from the last competition was Ecumenical High School from Stan Creek. So we'll see who'll come out on top tomorrow.
And, yes, and they're attending again. So we'll see what they bring this year.
They're the defending champs.
They're defending champs, yeah. So,
All right, Olga. Well, thank you for coming in and telling us all about it. I really do agree with you, having seen the projects here at Open Your Eyes, that what these students come up with, they are amazing. You can tell that they're thinking beyond just the everyday solutions that we're used to, and they know how to use the technology to make it work. So prepare to have a really, really stimulating day if you go out and check out the entries, and that's going to be at Biltmore tomorrow, starting at 10.
Right.
All right, thank you. We're going to go ahead now and take a break. When we come back, we're featuring A&A Indian Kitchen. We're going to be making some samosas and curries, so stay tuned.